That was fantastic, Bill. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Orange County. How are you doing today? Well, in the spirit of that energy, let's take a second, stand, and greet our neighbors. Good morning. It's so nice to get to come here and see our friends. As you return to your seats, let's remain standing, and we are going to do some singing together. I'm Tom, by the way. I'm your music director. It's my pleasure to be here guiding you through this musical journey. And we are going to be singing My Soul is Welcome Here. The words are on the screen. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Two more times. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. You guys sound wonderful today. Sing out a little bit, and then there's a slight word change on the next one. Look up. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Repeat that. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Indeed, you may be seated. Your soul is welcome here. And let's welcome Angie to the platform. Hi, Angie.
Good morning. How are you all doing today? As always, it's such a blessing to be here with all of you and to connect with your energy and just to be in this beautiful space. So welcome to Unity of Orange County. And those of you who are on YouTube seeing us, thank you also for watching. We really appreciate you. We always start our service by affirming our prayer for our church, our vision, and mission statements. So let's start with a prayer for our church. God is our strength, our substance, our source, and our supply. We open our mind to divine ideas. We are grateful for the flow of good in our ministries. All right, and our vision statement. We are love, honoring the divine in all. And our mission statement. We awaken, inspire, and transform lives through loving kindness, education, and service. Thank you so much. I love that. And so at this time, I'd like to thank all of those who make this service possible. This is a family support, right? So many people stepping up. So we're going to start with our music team. Our music director, Tom Keys. And our keyboard and choir director, Bill. We have Mark on camera. We have John streaming today. Our trustee is Howard. And our greeters today were Bill and Ellen. And then hospitality looks beautiful, and it was provided by Waverly and Cindy. So exciting. All right, so our speaker today is Reverend Dr. Peggy Price, and her, right? I know. And her title today is The Stirrings of Spring. And so Reverend Peggy Price has been coming to this church since Reverend Margaret was our minister. She actually said to me just now that she does consider it one of her spiritual families, us one of her spiritual families. and she's really happy to be back again, and we are so pleased to have you. All right, so we're going to have some announcements. So go ahead and mark your calendar for April 5th. That's our Lent workshop, and that's with Reverend Ken and Shanice. And they're going to be creating such a beautiful workshop. I already know it. I'll be there. It will be held at Laguna Woods, and there's a flyer in the hospitality room. And if you're unable to attend, if you want to donate towards someone else attending, that would be really beautiful. Also, coming up soon is the Easter choir, right? Woo! So if you like to sing, if you want to try to sing, whatever, there's no audition. Show up, and Bill has this way of just making everybody sound just beautiful. So come join us. It's a lot of fun. It's an opportunity to connect with other people in the community. And we're going to be starting the practices next Sunday. And it'll be March 30th, April 6th, and April 13th. And then you'll be performing on Easter Sunday. It's very, very exciting. So after service today, I forgot we had a video for our Lent workshop. Can we go back to that? Sorry about that.
Hi guys, I'm Howard, one of the board members at our Unity Church. I'm here to tell you about our Lent workshop coming up April 5th at Laguna Woods. It'll be all day. It will be like our past workshops where we develop a program for our own Lent practice. And so right now I'd like to introduce our Reverend Ken, who's going to facilitate our workshop.
Well, hi everybody. This is Reverend Ken Fenderick. Some of you might recognize me as a guest speaker at Unity of Orange, and it's my pleasure this morning to talk to you about something special that's going on at Unity of Orange. As you know, Lenten season is coming up, the 40 days of Lent, starting on March 5th, and we're putting together a special program on April 5th at the Laguna Park, and what it's going to be is a full day of activities. Now, you may have experienced Lent in a different way through some of your religious past or traditions, but this is a Unity way. So what we're going to do is through the use of readings, using Unity's book In the Garden, and also activities such as singing, crafts, and nature walks, we're going to help you develop your own deeper practice of Lent and what that means to you. So if this is something you're interested in, something you feel that will nourish you, this 40 days of transformation and renewal, please join us on April 5th, again at the Laguna Park. And for more information, go to the Unity of Orange website or contact one of the committee members at the service. So I will see you, along with the rest of the team, on April 5th for Lent.
All right, sounds fantastic, right? And that, once again, that's at Laguna Woods on April 5th. So after the service today, we will have chaplains available to pray. They'll be over here to the side. And if you need support in any way, please go to them. They're fantastic. All right, and we're going to bring Tom back up here.
Thank you, guys. That's very kind of you. I haven't done anything, really. I mean, I guess I led you in the song. I did something. I want to be the advocate for choir. If you love to sing, doesn't matter if you think your voice is up to it, just come and be part of the choir. You'll be in community, in song with your fellow congregants, and you'll sound beautiful, I promise. That's just how choirs work. All right. So the note that we got this week is that we are talking about invoking spring, basically. And of course, we're still doing the power of wisdom for the month, so my mind's at least thinking a little bit about wisdom, And in both of the songs I picked, there's a wisdom to spring. There's a wisdom to knowing that the winter will end. The beauty of the cycle of life and the seasons is it doesn't matter how dark that dark night of the soul is. It will turn over, it will renew, it will rejuvenate, and we will have spring. So that's kind of where I went with the music this week. You guys know this one. This is by George Harrison of the Beatles. Sing along if you'd like. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, it's alright. It's alright. Thank you guys so much. What a fun song that is. All right, it is time to welcome Angie back to the platform. Oh, that's right, we do a song. You're right. See, I forgot, silly goose. All right, we are going to get ready for that daily word and that meditation by singing together Our Thoughts, Our Prayers. There are 2 verses, so be sure to look at the board if you don't know the second verse. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, the tools that we create with. Our thoughts are prayers that Spirit resonates with. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of mindfulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Okay, so we're going to start today by lighting our Christ candle. This is to remind us that we all have that divine light within us. And it's okay to just let it shine and to just show up as we are. We're going to take a moment to just hold in prayer all the people who have added prayers to our prayer box, all of you out there who have a prayer that you're holding in your heart right now. And we just see the love and wisdom of the divine working through you, through the people around us, and supporting us in all of our needs. We hold everybody in love and know that everything is unfolding perfectly, and so it is. Right, so our daily word for today is joy, and I love that. I mean, what's better than joy? So our affirmation today is joy fills my heart and warms my soul. Do you guys want to say that together? Joy fills my heart and warms my soul. Today I will view the world through eyes of joy. This mindful practice will make even the most ordinary things seem special, and the things I may have taken for granted seem fresh and new. Even the energy I bring to my relationships will be imbued with harmony and peace. I will feel lighter, kinder, and more connected to the people in my life when I commit to living with joyful intention. Moments of frustration, disagreements with others, and disappointments may disturb my equilibrium for a time, but will not rob me of my joy. I honor God each time I share my joy. As I bless myself by feeling joyful, I bring more love, more peace, and more happiness to the world. And the scripture is Psalm 118:24. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Let's go ahead and take that within as we move into meditation. That feeling of joy and of peace, of light. Allow yourself to really be settling in, releasing any tension in your body. Allow yourself to be very present in the now, because the now is where joy lives. We're so grateful for this time that we get to come together. This time to create connections and friendships. To really celebrate the joy that we are and the joy that is around us. I invite you to think about a place in your life where there is so much joy, where you know that you can connect with that at any time. Allow yourself to really be with that feeling. And now know that that same feeling is available in every moment. Being in joy gives you a perspective, a perception different than the normal day. It helps you to really see the blessing in each person, in each moment. So go back to that feeling of joy and see it radiating throughout your body, and just be with it as we take a moment in the silence. As we allow ourselves to come back to this time and place, just know that that joy is always there. Even in difficult times, we know that it is not gone. That it is just maybe harder to reach, but it is there. With gratitude and love, we move forward into the rest of our day, knowing that we can touch into that joy anytime. As we listen to Bill play, we get ready for our speaker. Thank you.
I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let this whole world starts to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me. I need to relax and let God take over. I need to relax and let God take over. He'll take this load off my shoulder. I need to relax and let God take over. Make me an instrument, Lord of thy peace, as I let go, as I release. Make me an instrument, humble and free, as I awaken in this living Christ in me. Make me an instrument, Lord of thy peace, as I give love, love I receive. Make me an instrument, humble and free, as I awaken in this living Christ in me.
And I would like to invite Reverend Dr. Peggy Price to the stage.
Well, good morning. It's good to be back. And I so appreciate some of my friends have shown up today just by surprise, and that delights me too. And it's always good to be back in this community. Bill and I go back as far as 1987, where we met at the Huntington Beach Church of Religious Science. And then later, when I had become a minister, Bill would play at my church from time to time, and then at Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living, where I was a minister for many years. Bill was my music, everything. I don't know. We just had a great time, and he got some interesting voices to sound pretty good in that choir. So that was a long time ago. And Reverend Margaret and I met way back also in the maybe early 90s. And there was a summer when she had to have back surgery. And at the time I was between pulpits. And so I filled in for the whole summer while she recovered from her surgery. So I really did get to know this community really well. That's why I say you're another one of my spiritual family. And now you invite me back once in a while. And that delights me too. So it's just good to be here today. Thank you. Now, I have had a stern command from my dermatologist that I am to tell all of you that I am practicing self-care. Now, the reason that she wanted me to do that, she's adamant about this. She said, when you get up there and you tell them you're practicing self-care, you're setting an example. Well, the other example I did set that wasn't so good was I didn't pay a lot of attention to sunscreen. And so I ended up with some things on my cheeks over here and over here. I kind of look like I have a terrible sunburn and I'm peeling, but it's part of the healing process. It is healing, I affirm that. And of course, I'll invite you all to affirm that too. But that's what she said. You go tell them they need to practice self-care. So if you haven't had a skin check in a while and you've spent a lot of time in the sun, you know, I lived in Hawaii for 5 years. I heard somebody say Hilo. I lived in Hilo for part of that time in the 60s. And then Don and I lived there more recently on the island of Kauai for another 4.5 years. So I've lived a total of 10 years over there. And then this is my other home. So I spent a lot of time in the sun. So I'm lucky this is all I got. So, but anyway, practice self-care. That's her message for you today. In any case, when I thought of the title, Stirrings of Spring, I thought of all the different ways in which spring is stirring right now. And thinking about that saying about March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb. And we have had these beautiful, beautiful days at the end of the month and beautiful rain to turn everything green. And it's beautiful here right now. It's just absolutely beautiful here. And I feel a lot of gratitude for being here now. And in spring, I always think of E.E. Cummings in just spring when the world is puddle wonderful and mud luscious. I just love those words. Well, it's neither of those things right now, and actually we need to be grateful for both of them. We don't need mud, and we've got a lot of rain, and thank goodness maybe we'll get a little more. But when I started thinking about all of what's happening in the spring, I thought, I think I need to take a look back, kind of like the people on the space station, and look back from that distance to kind of see it all. And, you know, first of all, when you see the photographs of Earth from space, it's such a beautiful blue, green, and white island floating out there. And it looks so peaceful and placid. And at this time right now, we are having incredible storms. We're having wildfires. We're having all kinds of Earth-based challenges on the planet right now. So that's part of what's happening in the stirrings of spring, and really more and more through the year. And
There's a new microphone.
thank you. Then more on the Earth, is that good? Can you hear me? More on the Earth plane level, there is a lot of turmoil going on, not only here in our United States, but all over the world. There's turmoil. There's a lot of it. People in the streets and people all over. And then, of course, there are the people that are migrating, trying to find another place to go for many different reasons. That's also part of this spring, as well as what's going on right now. There is challenge after challenge and a lot of uncertainty. And then we add to that just our day-to-day lives and what might be going on there. But when you step outside the door in the morning and you're looking at the bright sunshine, and if you have beautiful trees like we do where we live in Laguna Woods Village, you can just take a deep breath, listen to the birds, and feel a sense of calm and peace. So a lot of it is about what you look at and what we put our energy to. On top of all that, spiritually, it's Ramadan, and Ramadan is being practiced all through the month of March. Ramadan is a Muslim observation of the belief that this was the time period where Muhammad received the Quran. And so the Muslim people study the Quran during this time. They fast all day, no water, no food from sun up to sunset. And then they feast. They fast and they feast. Not everybody has to do that, just in case you think elderly, sick, or children, nursing mothers, they don't practice that. But the idea being to become more aware of what it's like to not have enough Part of their spiritual practice is to give away 2.5% of their income to charity every year. That's part of their spiritual practice, one of their pillars. Prayer 5 times a day, making these charitable donations, visiting Mecca if they're able to do so. That's the third one. What's the other two? I'm not remembering them right at the moment, but there are 5 of them. I said prayer 5 times a day, didn't I? Yes. Practicing Ramadan, going through that experience too. So that's going on. We have Ramadan. And this is also a time, I've done a lot of interfaith work and traveled all over parts of the world and met with different religious organizations in different places. And during this time, they also offer their hospitality to people outside of their community to build friendships and relationships. And I've been fortunate to have been invited to several iftar dinners over the years, and it's just a wonderful time of learning to get to know each other and learn more about each other. So there's that going on. We have Christian Lent going on right now, and you're going to be doing this wonderful day at Laguna Woods soon. It sounds wonderful. The observation of Lent is something that devout Christians do by giving something up to represent sacrifice. And so they also are in some way fasting, as the people of the Muslim faith are fasting. And that practice is going on right now, the practice of Lent, getting ready for the coming of Good Friday and then Easter, and that's all about transformation. And then Passover is taking place right before Easter, and Passover represents the story of Moses leading his people out of Egypt and away from Pharaoh. And spiritually, what that means is out of the sensory into the spiritual transformation again. So all of these things are happening now. All of this that I'm sharing with you is happening right now. So is it any wonder that we might be feeling a little off balance? What do you think? I know I do. And I'm not going to tell you that I am the perfect spiritual person. You can just ask Don. He will tell you, nah. I have the same human feelings as all of the rest of us do about what is happening in our country, what is happening in the world. And I'm not speaking politically because I am assuming there are a lot of different viewpoints on that. But what I do know is that we, as people of good faith and people of new thought, we really can do something about it. What did the song say? All thoughts are prayers. All thoughts are prayers. Our daily practice can simply be a simple prayer for peace, for goodness, for enough for everyone. I love the global heart vision of a world that works for everyone. That's a totally utopian idea. It's completely radical. But holding that vision also means it's pulling itself toward us, because as we do that, we're attracting that. And even though right now it sure doesn't look that way, that vision is out there. The people in the streets want something other than what they're experiencing now. And what they're wanting is a world that works for them, a world that works for us, a world that works for everyone. I love that on your website, the very first thing you say about unity is how you bless all the other paths to God. All of them, you bless them all. And in doing that, I know that you also, because of that, bless all people who have a faith in a higher power. And we also bless all of those people that don't, because we're all part of one human family, all of us. One of the things that I loved about living on the island of Kauai is it's a smaller island. It's only got about 72,000 on the whole island population. It's all, every race, every religion. Most beautiful Hindu temple I've ever seen is on the island of Kauai. And we all get together because there's a saying that we're all in the same canoe. And if we don't paddle together, we won't get anywhere. When you're on an island, You know, we don't think about it as often here, but everything that goes into the landfill, what landfill on an island? Where do you put it? Where does it go? Just simple things like that. Or when somebody pollutes the water, that's everybody's water. When people go down to the beach and find little pieces of plastic all over the sand everywhere, and people fill buckets and bags full of it, that came from somewhere. And a world that works for everyone, we are also going to work to clean it up. And so we clean up the beaches. And we know that we're all in the same canoe. When you look back at Mother Earth from a distance, we're all in the same canoe. And somehow we must learn to paddle together. That requires a vision that's much bigger than anything you and I can see. It requires a vision that reminds us from time to time, if I'm practicing this, is this moving toward the vision of the very teaching that I follow in New Thought, in unity, in religious science, in whatever form of belief, Christianity? There's so many strong social activism Christian groups, and all of us are in the same canoe. We may have a different color paddle, you know, we may sing a different song, but we're in that canoe together, this canoe together. I heard a quote, and because I'm legally blind, I think a lot of you know that, I'm not able to read things anymore the way I did. I have to have my computer read to me, and I can't take notes because, so there are some words here, but I don't know what they would be. So it all has to come up from here, so I'm not going to quote exactly. But Carl Sagan said that those of us, we small creatures that live on this planet, meaning human beings, at the very base have only one thing they can depend on, and that's love. Love. Right now, it appears, at least in my experience, that a lot of the motivation right now in leadership, not only in our country but around the world, doesn't seem to be coming from love. But the antidote to it is love. The antidote to it is, how are we showing up in this canoe? Did we bring our paddle? Are we paddling with love? Are we looking at, what is my small part to play? You don't have to play a big part, just a small part to make a difference in the world right now. And I thought of some very simple, basic, down-to-earth ideas that are earth plane that we can do. I have a friend who's Hindu, and she told me that she's doing a new spiritual practice. She said, I'm sitting in silence for 3 minutes and practicing smiling. Now I thought, I'm going to try that. I couldn't remember to smile for 30 seconds. I all of a sudden realized my face was going back to the way it was, and oops, I got to smile again. And she said, doesn't matter if it's a fake smile, doesn't matter at all, but it's changing the endorphins in your body when you smile. You know, there's a saying that it takes more muscles to frown than to smile. So even if you can only do it for 30 seconds, just take a time out and smile and see if it doesn't shift something inside of you. I was with a friend yesterday. We went to the Irvine Water District to listen for birds. She showed me a new app that I can have on my phone called Merlin, and it listens for the birds, and then it identifies them so you can tell what's singing. And it's a free app if anybody likes birds and wants to do that. So we were walking along yesterday, and she said, she goes out and walks a lot, and she said, when I'm out walking, I notice a lot of people are coming along the sidewalk with their head down, and I say hello, and they don't answer. And she said, so I figure they may not understand English. So now what I do is I wave and I smile, and they respond. You know what? A smile, a wave, a hello, just that little moment of kindness maybe is just the right time to shift something within that person without having to know another thing about them. So I think it's a good idea to practice smiling, like smile when your heart is aching, smile when your heart is breaking, right? What a great song. So that's one, smile. Now, I've got to remember, okay. Then the next one is to get out into nature, to find a way to go, even if you're just in your own neighborhood. And Laguna Woods in your own neighborhood, you're in a forest and there's birds and squirrels and everything, including coyotes. And, I love the wildness of that. But even if you're in the middle of a city, there's a tree, there's a park. But get connected, your feet with the ground and Mother Earth, because there is a strength in feeling that helps empower you and allows you to appreciate the beauty all around us. My morning practice is very simple. I get up, turn on the coffee, and I go outside. And I stand on my little front porch, and we have a magnolia tree out there. And I'm looking away from the sun, so it's shining on the tree, and there's a bird up there right now that's called a song wren that has the most beautiful song. And so I listen to that, and when she's not singing or he's not singing, there are other birds that are up in that tree, and I just give thanks for another day. And a lot of times I'll say to Don, it might be cloudy and raining or what, it's a beautiful day. And he'll say, yeah, that's what your dad used to say. I said, well, it is a beautiful day. Because if we start out that way and start out in gratitude for another day, heck, some of us, it's like we're really grateful for another day. What is it? It's nice to see you. And you say, it's nice to be seen. It's like, that's how it feels. Practice that. And then practice gratitude. I know there's a lot of uncertainty right now. I know there is. And yet, if you can put your mind back to the things you are grateful for. Losing my eyesight was scary. We moved back from Hawaii because on Kauai there was absolutely nothing other than overbooked ophthalmologists, and everything else was on Oahu, which required about a $200 plane trip every time you needed to see a doctor for 20 minutes. So we had to make the decision to come back, which was a big decision. And you all know Daniel Nahmad. He's been here. I'm sure he's a musician. I was talking to him a few weeks ago, and I told him what was going on, and he said, how do you grieve that? And I thought, that's an interesting question. I haven't thought about that. But perhaps there's some things that we need to grieve and let go of and learn to do differently. And what I've been learning, because thank goodness, one of the reasons we moved here is Braille Institute is right up the street here. Laguna Woods has a wonderful group called the Vision Club that brings in all kinds of great speakers, and is also a place where I've met a lot of other people with visual difficulties of every level. Mine is glaucoma, and I can see the elephants, but I can't see the mice. And there's a gray curtain over everything. So just to explain why I will say to you, please tell me your name, because I may not recognize your face because I can't really see it. So, and thank you so much for you doing the readings this morning, because I told her, I can't read that. And I don't like saying I can't, but I'm not able to do that now. I'm learning how to be blind. We sometimes we have to accept the things we cannot change. And so I'm working on accepting that now this is my way of being, and I'm learning everything I can to stay as independent as I can, and also to be able to know when to ask for help. And sometimes Don gets mad because I don't ask early enough and I spill something or something. But it's part of what I'm learning now. And I practice gratitude, because I could have a lot of other awful things. I have a sister-in-law with stage 4 cancer. She's an amazing woman. She has a very deep faith, and she's getting through it. But, I'm grateful for what I don't have in that sense. And I'm grateful for what I do. And practicing gratitude is a very deep way to also help you stay away from that uncertainty and that confusion. There's a movie called Best Little Marigold Hotel. Anybody see it? And Dev Patel and Judi Dench and Maggie Smith, and just a wonderful cast. And there's a line in that that movie that he says, everything always works out in the end, and if it hasn't worked out, it isn't the end. That's a really good thing to keep in mind. If it isn't working out right now, it isn't working out because it isn't the end. And we don't know what that end might be, but it allows you to have more trust and more faith and more willingness to accept where you are right now, no matter what's going on. And I'm sure some of you have some things that are going on that are challenging and scary, perhaps. And yet that presence of the one, the power, the life, God, Spirit, Christ, is working within each and every single one of us at all times. But we have to tune into that. And the tuning in allows us then to feel that love, to know that that love is infinite and ever present and all around us all the time. And that the expression that we can be to others of love, of a wave and a smile, that simple thing, an act of kindness. Don and I came home from this wonderful cruise to Hawaii that we came back in the late January, and we both received the gift of RSV on the way home. So we were at home for I was home for a couple of weeks. He got better faster than I did, but we got a text from a neighbor. Can we go to the grocery store and get you anything? I thought, we do that, but we never get that back because, normally we're not. I felt so touched. And then a couple of days later, somebody else called me. I'm out and about. Can I get you anything? How wonderful. What a lovely gesture. And we didn't need anything at the time either, but I felt so moved. And I know that when we practice prayer for others, and you have your Unity teachers, and we have our practitioners, and we pray for people, but it means so much. And if you've been prayed for, you feel it. It's like, wow. So that's a gesture that we can all do. It's so simple. So smile, practice gratitude, remember love, practice love, and smiling and waving. And look up at the sky at night and see whatever you can see. And during the day, look up wherever you are for the trees. Listen for the birds, if you're able. And remember that, just like right now, all is well in this moment, right here, right now. So let's just take a moment to know this presence and power, this source of all life, this goodness that is everywhere present, all around us, all the time. I call it God, Spirit, wholeness, peace, joy, love, the Christ. I know that that energy is ever present now. And through all of these layers of activity that are going on in our lives and in our world right now, at our very core, there is peace. At our very core, there is love, for it is forever around us. We paddle together in this canoe called Earth, and we all play a part. And as we practice that part, we are participating in a vision of a world that works for everyone. And as we hold that in our hearts, that begins to allow us to feel love for more and more and more of our humankind. And so with gratitude and love, I give thanks for these truths today and always, as I release my word into the mind and heart and love and law of the one God, and say, and so it is. Thank you.
I will. Thank you so much, Dr. Reverend Peggy. You know, I was here. Yes, one more, please. I was part of the church when Reverend Peggy took over for Reverend Margaret, and it was such a pleasure to have you and work with you during that time. I know that we're all part of New Thought, but there's different versions, if you will. And I've always felt like whatever's different between CSL and Unity, you are always such a perfect embodiment of just the New Thought idea. And it's such a pleasure to have you here and speaking and sharing your wisdom. So thank you for that. Part of the talk today was about nature, and we're invoking spring. This is a song from The Secret Garden. Winter's on the wing, here's a fine spring morn. Coming clean through the night comes the May, I say. Winter's taking flight, sweeping dark, cold air out to sea. Spring is born, comes the day, I say, and you'll be here to see it. Stand and breathe it all the day. Stoop and feel it, stop and hear it. Spring, I say. And now the sun is climbing high, rising fast on fire, glaring down through the gloom, gone the gray, I say. The sun spills the doom of the winter's rain, ice and chill must retire, comes the May, say I, and you'll be here to see it. Stand and breathe it all the day. Stoop and feel it, stop and hear it. Spring, I say. I say, be gone, ye howling gales, be off, ye frosty morns. All ye solid streams begin to thaw. Melt ye waterfalls, part ye frozen winter walls. See now it's starting, and now the mist is lifting high, leaving bright blue air rolling clear. Across the moor comes the May, I say. The storm will soon be by, leaving clear blue sky. Till the sun will shine, comes the day, say I, and you'll be here to see it. Stand and breathe it all the days. Stoop and feel it, stop and hear it. Spring, I say. And let's welcome Angie back to the platform.
Wow, right? We're so lucky to have so much talent and to have Reverend Peggy Price back again. Oh, it's just amazing. We love you. You're fantastic. So this is the time that we practice the principle of giving and receiving. And as we learn in Luke 6:38, give and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and oh my gosh, I lost it. And running over. For as we give, so we get. So we're going to have take a moment to bless our offerings. If you want to hold it in your hand, or if you just want to, like if you give through texting or whatever, just hold that energy and that light of your intention for this donation. And we're going to say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Perfect. And our church is solely funded through the generous love donations. So your financial support is so appreciated. So there is a couple different ways to donate. If you'd like to do it over text, you can text 77977 with the message Unity of OC Give. Or you can go to the website and you can donate through the website. And it's really easy to do. You can even set it up to come out every so often. It's really nice. All right, do we have any first-time visitors here today? We have two right here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And we'd love to give a blessing just to send some light to you, and we'll send it to everybody today. We will say, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Thank you so much for being here. And then if you want to bring the offering up. And we just accept these beautiful gifts with love and joy as we move forward, knowing that all of this is going towards some beautiful work within our community, within our congregation, and wherever we're led. So we just accept the gratitude, the light, and the love, and say, thank you, God. And so it is. Okay. All right, so thank you so much for being here. We're going to be closing with our peace song. If you'd like to get up and go ahead and get ready for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you.
And please stand as we close out the service. We're going to do the peace song and our prayer for protection. Join hands. Come in. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God, and the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God altogether. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. James Philip Freeman.